Some of these white women, I don't know what they think before they will literally just take their camera and start saying trash. Let it make sense to me that what this woman actually said to her is absolutely correct. So she is trying to simply insinuate that black people are the major problem. When I keep saying it that these white folks need to be worked on, a lot of people think I'm joking. All is nowhere. You cannot convince me. Now I'm going to play this video and listen to what this woman actually said. Now black people are the problem, right? But the same black people that will sit down that you guys will just literally look for anything that you want to do just because you want to paint a particular black person A or B. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And guys, with that being said, let's dive right into this video. Watch this video and let me know your honest opinion. Let's go.
Being a white woman, the white woman in America, you're targeted.
I'm gonna need y'all to be so fucking dead ass. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, huh?
Like, for one, being a white woman in America, you're targeted.
What?
Being a white woman in America, you're targeted. Being a white woman in America, you're targeted.
This lady really sat up here and said that being a white woman in America makes her a target. A target for what? A target for who? Y'all literally weaponized y'all's tears since the inception of this country and got whole towns burned to the ground. Y'all have literally made up lies about young black boys saying anything to you, whistling at you, and got their lives taken away. Y'all literally steal more than anybody else in this goddamn country. The stickiest fingers. No one follows you around the store. You don't get racially profiled. And she's trying to say like reverse racism is a thing in another post saying, oh, y'all act like white people can't experience racism. And I grew up around black and Latinos. Of course you did, sweetheart. Y'all love to play the oppression Olympics. I don't know. They want a destiny swap so freaking bad. And I've been using the term destiny swap for a long time before I even really started heavily making content over here. Now it's like this big popularized term, but they literally want to destiny swap with black women. They want to play the oppression Olympics. They want to make it seem like their lives are so hard when honestly, white women can end racism. White women can literally end racism. White women can end white supremacy. White women can end the mass genocide that's created and committed by white men. White women have a lot of power. 9 times out of 10, they're the mastermind behind all of the... y'all ready? They are the masterminds behind it all. Who is raising these people? The one thing white people don't ever want to take credit for is racism. They take credit for everything else. Now, since when has white women become this oppressed underclass? They benefited the most from DEI. People hear them out when they cry. Literally. All she has to do is cry. And she can ruin somebody's whole life. They get grace. They get to be individuals. Even though we see a lot of them act out in absolute psychotic ways. They don't get the blatant statement. They get to be mediocre. Look at Taylor Swift. How is it? How is she targeted? Targeted for what? Y'all think white women are targeted? Just spread love is the Brooklyn way.
Originally a joke. I'm sorry. I should apologize because I did not realize people weren't funny.
Yesterday, I did a get ready with me, even though I was self-conscious to do it. And today I'm going to do a get unready with me because I don't know about you, but today I had the gift of opening up TikTok and watching a woman run directly into a fire.
Since we want to talk about it, I actually do have a lot to be tired for, and don't belittle my feelings.
Obviously, that was a metaphor because, TikTok wouldn't allow that. But for some reason, TikTok allowed what this woman had to say with her whole chest. Her life is about to change in such a big way, and not a positive one. And I think it already has, because the video that I showed you is really all that you're able to get, because she did take the post down. And by way of explanation, she left this. I'm going to put it on the screen. Pause to read if you dare. And following that, she did another post where she doubled down real hard, so hard that the earth shook a bit.
Okay, so in the last 24 hours, I've made many people very, very angry with my poor delivery of my opinion on white hatred and racism. Yes, you heard that correctly. I, as a white woman, openly spoke about how many people of color are racist towards white people.
The whole post was like peppered with these little condescending, you gotta hear it.
Okay, anywho.
I mean, it's that follow-up that I want to respond to, because, and I'm going to try to explain some stuff. I'm going to try very hard not to lead with anger, because I think a lot of people are doing that. It's deserved, but I'm going to try really hard not to, because nobody listens to you when you're mad, or at least not me, because I'm black. Starting off strong with the first thing that you said in your first video.
Being a white woman in America, you're targeted.
You think that you're being targeted. I think that the reason that you feel like you're being targeted is because, there's a lot of posts calling out Karens, and you may have actually seen somebody who is an actual, educated historian saying that white women are the most dangerous kind of white people to people of color, and not understood it. And instead of trying to research and understand it, you got mad. You have Google, just like I do. And so, I don't want to go too far into it, but the reason why people are saying that white women are more dangerous than white men is because white women have two things going for them, okay? First of all, they have the privilege of white men. They do, but they also have the privilege of this sort of infantilization, where white men feel like they need to protect the virtue of white women. And they will do anything to do that, even if it means unfairly targeting people of color with violence and danger, which means that you wield all of that power, right in your front pocket. All you have to do is make it seem like a person of color was hurting you in some way. And you'd be surprised. So many white people are going to come running to your defense, even if there is nobody hurting you at all, as I'm sure that you saw all during 2020, because there were so many videos. You can still see videos about it, but there was a saturation of it in 2020. Oh, I can hear you screaming from here, but I didn't do that. I don't do that. Okay. I believe that you do, because I've watched all of your videos against my better judgment, but that's why you feel targeted. I've never done this before. Am I supposed to be showing the product? I don't. They're probably all wrong. I'm not sure if I'm using the right product. This is why I don't do these, but I digress.
And spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into.
To discuss
I don't understand
how targeted you have been as a white woman is a story in which you talk about how you grew up in a neighborhood that was not predominantly white.
Lived in a predominantly black/Hispanic neighborhood where I was referred to as white girl and never by my name, in which they knew it.
Maybe him wasted on drugs and alcohol and poppers or whatever the heck.
Do you know what I was called in my neighborhood?
Why
I'm
are
not
you
even gonna
pocket
say
watching? That
all of
is
the slurs
crazy.
because TikTok won't let me say them. You understand? My video will be taken down. They all knew my name because I was one of 8% of black people that went to my school. Everybody knew my name, and yet they would call me those kind of names, but they would also say things like Bonquita, Bonquiqui, Shaniqua, Shantayla, all of these things, which are just African sounding names, but they would say that knowing that my name is Jennifer. Jennifer. You also mentioned, because somebody said in the comments of your first video that you were loud and wrong. And you said that if you had posted that in a black woman's video.
Now, if I commented that under a black woman's post, I'd be called racist for simply calling her loud.
That everybody would say that you were a racist just for using the word loud. Very interesting, because you purport to not be a racist, and yet you ran directly into the racist poll and didn't blink. Hang on. I'm finding it. I'm going to start with, if you would have put in the comments of a black woman that they were loud and wrong when they were talking about how targeted they are, then you would not be being called a racist for calling her loud. You would be being called a racist for being a racist. But it's interesting that you point out that black women are always being called loud, because I do have a measured tone. I do try to speak quietly and keep my anger quiet, because if I don't, then I'm called aggressive or loud or called an angry black woman. Also, for funsies, if I code switch, I'm not black enough. And if I don't code switch, I'm ghetto. Another thing that you mentioned, and this was not you specifically, it was somebody in your comments talking about something that happened to them, and both of you were addressing it as though it were this big act of violence against this white woman. She said, and I quote, that she had to play a slave owner in a Juneteenth play even though she was uncomfortable with it.
They even made me play a slave owner in a Juneteenth play. And even though I was uncomfortable, I was told I couldn't feel uncomfortable because of my ancestors. All right, that's a fucking shitty experience.
Hang on! To reiterate what was said in the video. Okay, I'm not making this up for funsies or to make anybody laugh. In a play about Juneteenth, a white person had to play a slave owner, and that was an act of racism. How do you believe that the black people who had to play slaves felt playing slaves? Do you think that that was a fun experience for them? Do you think that acting out generational trauma is something that all of these black people enjoyed so much, and making her a slave owner was a punishment? Who was she supposed to play? As an actor who has played a slave more times than I can count, to be honest. No, it is not fun to act out your generational trauma. No, it is not. In fact, it's awful, and sometimes it weighs down on you. And what's better is that sometimes it's the only way that you can even get work as an actor, is to act out black trauma. Oh, everybody loves Hairspray and thinks it's just a fun and wild ride. They just forget about all of the racism in it. To be in Hairspray as a black person, you have to play a black person in the 1960s. Why does nobody ever... I'm not angry. I'm just being passionate right now. There are other comments that you mentioned in your video that I'm not going to speak to, because those people actually endured some heinous things. One person had their house up, and another person was very much bullied. Bullying is never okay. Bullying is never okay. Here is the thing, okay? Because I did say that your life is going to change, not in a good way, unless this is what you're looking for, okay? There was that woman who said the N-word and got really, really famous with the alt-right, and they got really happy about her, and now she's got a platform because she's a racist, like yourself. And listen, I want you to hang on to that for a second, because a lot of people are racists. They might not even know it. There are biases being had by so many people that they're not aware of, and that they just need to work on. If by simply being educated, calling you a racist is not an insult and it is not me bullying you, it is fact. Listen to the way you spoke to us. So if what you're looking for is attention from the Trump supporting, Charlie Kirk worshiping, Elon Musk saluting, you will not replace us chanting folk, then you're headed in the correct direction, and you're going to do great. But if you want to come out of this not being embraced by that kind of person, then what I suggest you do is just take a step back and listen to what's being said. I always compare the way that I feel about macaroni and cheese to the way that I feel about white people, and I hope that this is the last time that I say it. Mac and cheese is great when it's good, but it's awful when it's bad. And the problem is that you never know if you are eating good or bad macaroni and cheese until you take a bite. So sometimes it's easier just to not eat mac and cheese. And I mean that. I don't hate any kind of person. And I mean that with my whole chest. But sometimes it's safer for me to avoid people. And I keep being reminded by videos like yours. So I hope that you do learn from this. I hope that you do take a step back. I know that you probably won't, but I really hope that you do, because this is a very valuable lesson. You seem young. You seem very young, and you don't want your whole life to be about this moment.
Like, for one, being a white woman in America, you're targeted.
Oh, really? Did you know that white women tears are so powerful that it can get a 15-year-old black boy beaten so brutally that he was deemed unrecognizable in his own open casket? Beaten so brutally that he was having his head smashed in with baseball bats, crowbars, fists, feet by 2-3 grown behind men, all because they thought he whistled at a white woman. And this is a white woman's tears that did this. His face swelled up so bad, they wrapped his freaking neck with barbed wire and threw his body in the Mississippi River with a cotton hitch. White women tears did that. And you guys are the targets? Okay.
Like, for one, being a white woman in America, you're targeted.
Ain't nobody targeting y'all besides a rapper that's trying to get famous. The Lil Durk method still ain't been patched.
White woman in America, you're targeted.
By white men, maybe. Yeah. By that white daddy that made you? Oh, yeah. Your white brother, if you got one. That white boyfriend, husband, whatever. Yeah. Statistics show that men that made y'all are y'all's biggest predators. But then again, it's almost like we didn't just watch white people try to kill black women just because they were in labor. Like, bitch, are you new here? White women have been documented to kill mass amount of black folk just off of their feelings being hurt. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. Your white feelings have been hurt, and now you just want to wage war on all black folk. Because what? We made some jokes? White people have never and will never experience racism. It's not a thing. Prejudice, maybe. Bullying, definitely. But racism, bitch, please read a book. If you would just educate yourself on the system of racism and white supremacy, you wouldn't be running your mouth like this. By white men, maybe.
Clay Walker. First day of daycare. Black woman beats the ever-living fucking shit out of him. Got out on bail. Yeah. This piece of shit, Bianca Willis, walked up to an innocent white child and poked him to the point he fucking died. After a judge refused to put a hold on her for a mental eval, so they released her on good faith, just for her to, a few days later, go and do this to this baby. Arania Zarutska quite literally escaped a fucking active war zone just to come to America and get killed by a YN, who also was let go from police custody multiple times from multiple different fucking charges. He should have never been on the fucking street. This piece of shit, who raised a thug of a son who thought it was okay to steal cars and point pew-pews at cops, decided that since he raised that type of son, who was unalived by police officers due to his own fucking actions, decided to mow down an innocent white deputy who had nothing to do with his son's case. Austin Metcalf quite literally just didn't want a thug, a known problem causer, a troublemaker, someone who literally decided that morning when they woke up that they were going to stick a fucking poker in their backpack and take it to a school event, who made a beeline to cause fucking problems. Anthony is quite literally out on bail and house arrest. A white boy did that shit, ain't no fucking way he'd be on the outside. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. Not only do you target us with online hatred every fucking day on forms of social media, but you actually are starting to unalive us at alarming rates. As if it's not bad enough that you unalive your own at such alarming rates. I mean, fuck, in 2023 alone, there were over 13,000 black people who were unalived by other black people. That's more than the Triple K did combined in their active years. Y'all commit fucking hate crimes on white people all the time. They're just never labeled as such because y'all are black and we're white. Shut your bitch ass up and sit the fuck down.
Between the white folks and the black folks, or between the white women and the black women, who is more targeted? Who is more targeted, please? Because these people, like I said, they need to be. Some of them need prayers. How can you wake up and just said being a white woman, you are targeted? Targeted by who? Black women are people that, even in place of jobs, their jobs is being taken away from them. Their work is being taken away from them. Black women are people that suffered more in the system. But you said being a white woman, you are more targeted. Black people are people that will walk on the streets and some idiots will walk to them and be like, do you belong here? There are literally people that will be targeted in stores where people keep following them up and down, thinking that they can never be something good in the society. How are you targeted as a white woman? How are you targeted as a white woman? Because the only thing people are looking forward to is how you people can say reverse racism is really active. Reverse racism. We are also experiencing racism. That is the only thing you people love to claim so much. Even when me and you knows that every single thing you're saying is a lie. Anyways, let's get into my research. In the United States, both white and black can experience prejudice, but black Americans are targeted at a significant higher rate in areas connected to systemic practice such as policing and criminal justice, housing discrimination, economic opportunities, education access, health outcome, media portray. Black people are disproportionately targeted according to decades of data from the Department of Justice, the US Census, the housing agencies, educational statistics. Black Americans are most likely to be stopped, searched, arrested, and received harsher sentence for same crimes. Black families are denied mortgage or shown fewer homes compared to white family with same income. The racial wealth gap shows the media white household has for more accumulated wealth than the media black household. Schools in predominantly black neighborhood tends to receive less fundings. Black Americans have worse health outcome due to limited access to care, environmental factors, and structural inequality. What did these people need to tell me? And this woman has the guts to open her mouth, open her camera, and yeah, when you're a white woman, You were mere targeted. Targeted in what aspects? Targeted in what form? She literally got her ass whooped, and I'm so happy about that because a lot of people came for her. Even this video I stitched, they are just the least fewer videos. In fact, by this time, I believe that she'll be deleting her account because the efferent and final she is getting, even from her own fellow folks, she never believes it. There are things you don't just come to media and just air out because you just want to talk. No, calculate what you want to say. Look at the advantage and the disadvantage before you come out here to say some nonsense that you're not supposed to say. Please, with this video that you guys have watched, please, who is more targeted? Who is supposed to be complaining? Who is supposed to be crying? Who is supposed to be airing out? Who is supposed to be talking about being targets? Let me know in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I say in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye, guys. I love you guys. Mwah. Mwah.